Mic check. One, two, three. And we back at it again. This Tori LeBeau coming to you one more time. And I just want to come at you guys with the live, where we at. You guys already know. Colombia, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know why that even matters right now, but we're gonna get into some things right now. So we're gonna wait for a few more people to get in here. Let's see what is that. All right, we have 100 people up in the room. All right, 175 people. Oh, I just jumped. We got 1,000 people in the room right now. All right. All right, well, then let's go ahead and start. I don't want to keep 1,000 people waiting. So you guys see what the title is. African Americans, you'll already know. America is damaging you, damaging African Americans. Why do I say that? We're going to get into it right now. So for all you people out there who believe that you're black, go ahead and believe that you're black. We're going to allow you to believe that you're black. For some reason, I don't understand why African Americans feel like they have the major title or that they are the only people in the world that can claim to be considered black or whatever we're going to call it. Because, anyways, we're going to get into it. The fact that black is a term that we put on ourselves that white people put on us when they brought us into these countries. And then we accepted it and said, yeah, we are black. We are black. That doesn't describe or determine your nationality, who you are in general. So, what we're going to go ahead and do is get into why I feel and why the truth is that America is really damaging you. First things first, how many years has it been since slavery? They're just going to be honest. How many generations, actually? They say it's 300 years. They say, it's been about little little more than 300 years, 400 years maybe it's been. I don't know exactly, but we're probably about three generations after slavery because they stopped slavery around, I think they abolished it in late 1800s. And first things first, I want you guys to understand something. America was one of the last people. Brazil was the last to abolish slavery, but America was one of the last to abolish slavery. So, still to this day, Americans are enslaved. Like, we are enslaved. How do I know that we enslaved? Because I've been in America, going to other countries, and seeing how Americans act, even seeing how I acted in other countries or how I act in other countries. We have this mentality of thinking that the world should almost learn to live or learn to act like us. You know, they should imitate us or something like that. I've never seen so many African Americans who go into a country and they get mad with people because they can't because they can't interact with them like they interact in America. They expect, like, as if they go into another country and they could just act the same way, speak the same way, do the same exact things, and then other people are just supposed to imitate or accept those things. And that's where I see a lot of our biggest issues in America. But first, let's go back to, you know, this channel is about connecting the African diaspora. Why? Because it seems as if African Americans, if you go to any hood, ghetto, talk to people in America who haven't traveled outside of the United States, and I know you guys are gonna say like, oh yeah, well, that's understandable. No, it's not understandable because we have been in this time of social media. But what I'm going to say is if you ask them what is the difference between them and Latino, they're going to tell you, oh, they Latino, we black, black. If they separate they believe to be as black from Latino. And if you are what you feel Or if that person is the same skin color as us and they was born in a different country in Latin America, and you speak Spanish, they're gonna consider you to be something different. They might even call you black, but they'll probably think of you different because you can't speak English, right? How do I know this? If any of you guys have seen Amara La Negra, Amara La Negra is a famous singer, Dominicana, and she went on a show. I don't know who the guy was. I know he was African American, and this guy asked her specifically, "Why are you trying to consider yourself to be black?" She said, "Well, that's what I am." He said, "No, you shouldn't do that. You're from Dominican Republic. You are Dominican. You are not black." He tried to separate her from what we were. And that's where we get conquered. Yes, because everyone knows that America, the main strategy of America was divide and conquer. And so we think ourselves to be these, oh, I'm in this facet. Oh, Haitians are different from me. Oh, Africans, they talk, they African booty scratchers. It wasn't until Afro beats came out recently in the past few years that people started looking at Africa like, oh, Africa might be something. Oh, I've seen those Africans, or because before when we were growing up, you guys know that you thought that Africans, you made fun of them in school, you talked bad about them, and then you started seeing when they came over, they were smart, different from what you believed, and then you separated yourself from them. Why? Because it's divide and conquer, and we've been conquered through the mind. And how is that to be important for what I'm speaking about? It's important for everything that we're speaking about. For the fact of that Colombia, when you think of Colombia, you think of, Latinos, Spanish, salsa dancing. You think of these things, old beaches, and this is where the issue comes in, where America damages us, because America has given us a certain mindset of money, because all we think about is money in America. Let's just be honest. All we think about is money. There's no culture beyond money in America. No culture at all. And all we think about is money every day. And if the person is not getting money, they're trying to get some money. That is our main focus as Americans over there. We move in a way of, you're not trying to give me no money? Get out of my way. We move in a way of if you speak to your family, or someone calls you that hasn't been talking to you in a while, or they're gonna ask you, well, how's the job? How's work? You know, how's life? But they don't really care about your health, because they never ask you, well, how's your health? How's the family? How's the kids? You know, are you happy? You look good. You look good, all right. Sometimes they might say you look good, but do they really care about your well-being? No. They be asking you about things, the surface level things, surface level. But yet you're in Colombia, you're in, Italia, you're in Africa, and they want to know about your well-being. Hey, how you been doing? They want to know about your well-being. We have that separation, because we're all on a mission to get money. And if you can't help me get money, then F you is our mentality. And that's damaging. Why? Because we need community in order to rise. And then we always, if you can't give me no money, then you're not part of my community. And it's like, well, what happened? They damaged us. You go to Panama, you go to Colombia, you go to Cuba, you're going to see African traditions that they are still practicing to this day. And why do I say that? Colombia is full of us. It's full of us. There is no it's like anything that they taught you about Colombia is wrong. I mean, it's not ex- completely wrong. Yeah, they told you that they had the cartel. Yeah, they told you about, Pablo Escobar. They told you about these people. But did they tell you about all of the people like us over here? I'm not talking about Americans, I'm talking about, hey, Denzel wasn't for my well-being, for my well-being. Not playing with you, but did they tell you about all of those ships that went from Africa and then dropped them off in South America, dropped them off on the coast, all throughout Central America, all throughout South America, Colombia, Venezuela, Brazil? You guys know about Brazil, but Brazil is a different story because those motherfuckers are trying to be white. Over there, they taught them that black is that's not what you're trying to be. So they trying to practice el blanqueamiento de la raza, which is the whitening of the race, if you don't know. But if you come to Colombia, you're gonna see your people on the streets. You're gonna see them, and they're not just in the poor areas. No, they're in every facet of this system. Every facet of the system. And the issue with a lot of Americans, because we're gonna let you know, because we know that the relationships in America damaged, damaged. Why? Women want to talk to guys like they're guys. Men want to interact with women like they're women. Relationships are not strong. Relationships, you have anomalies. You have individuals over there in America, African Americans, when how can you be two continents? But we accept, I'm saying African American for the majority of you to understand it and you not to be like, oh, this is outlandish. But, anyways, I'm listening and talking to the remnant, anyways. So if you looking at my stuff and you accepting what I'm talking about, you already know that you on a different type of vibration. But we trying to build a nation out here, and the nation that we trying to build can't be built by just one side. Why can't it be built one sided? Because if you've ever seen Black Panther, you saw the possibilities of what we can do. But how can we even get to that if we don't connect with the other African or the Afro diaspora? We expect everyone to speak English like us. We don't want to speak Spanish. We don't want to speak French. We don't want to attempt to connect with these other people. Because why? We have an issue with when in America the mindset is so damaged that it damages the relationships and how we interact with one another, that when we go over to another country, we're like, man, I don't want to deal with no black person no more. What do they look for? African American brothers, they come to Colombia, they go to Brazil, and what do they look for? A white girl, a mestiza, because they definitely not trying to look for the same skin color. I mean, look, I'm different. Look, if your mindset, I know that mindsets are a byproduct of the society that you've been living in. Of course, I got this aggressive type of way about me. And what does that come from? Being in America. Being in America, you can grow up in a nice neighborhood and you still come out with this aggressive mindset of, yo, what's good, what's good. Or maybe it's because I lived in New York for quite a long time, that it's like maybe we just aggressive. But I found the same aggressiveness in people in Texas. Same thing with people in New York. All of the East Coast, people just like rude. All of the East Coast, you could say the Southern hospitality. What Southern hospitality? Because I ain't really found no Southern hospitality. I went to Florida. That's supposed to be southern, the southernmost of the South, and I didn't find any type of Southern hospitality over there. Them motherfuckers were just sort of rude, and I was just used to it. You ever get used to the fact of just being looked at as being like people looking at you wrong? That's how it is in America, man. It's like And so we accept it, and then we grow into it, and then we try to adapt to be in the white person's system. We try to adapt it when we're around other people of other Caucasians, other people from the Caucasus Mountains, other people, Edomites. I'm throwing out all of these different terms that maybe you know them as Caucasians, maybe you know them as Edomites, maybe you know them as white people, whatever you know them by. There's nothing wrong with what I'm saying about them. I'm saying that they have presented to you a way of living that you want to live, and then you try to interact and enter into that society. But how are you going to come back to your community and try to help? And you got you a white girl on your arm, or you got you, what's his name, a Brad or a Brian, you know, eh, on your arm, or you on his arm. How you gonna come back and try to help your community? Candace. No, we're not gonna go into that. Um, but the situation of all of us have a responsibility to ourselves, to our community. And the issue is that we don't want to help our community because we've seen so much pushback or seen so much problems happen to it. Because why? The mentality, the mentality is damaged. How can you build a community where African Americans and the mentality is damaged? Whereas when they look at you, or when they look at another person that looks like them, they see an enemy and not a brother. But they might say it's a brother, but they actually try to rob them, or they try to, look at them a different way. But then when white person comes in, they all friendly and, oh, I could do business with white people. But with my people, no, they're not even my people, because my people would be people that we make money. We're not, kinfolk. We only skinfolk. And hey, man, I'm not trying to hear all of that. Yeah, all of your people are not your people because the mentality is effed up. And until we fix it, the mentality that we have, how is it that we can even go into doing and grinding and growing, constructing, and building a community if we don't fix the mentality? If your mentality is that you can't live off of $50,000, if you can't figure out how to live off of 50,000, I'm talking about like not $50,000 a year. I'm talking about like $50,000 like all at once. I've seen some some videos where people turned it down like $50,000. Like what's that? You know, $50,000 can last me quite a while. I'm in Colombia, like I told you. I can go to the store, grocery store, and buy everything that I really need. Go grocery shopping, and it only comes to like less than $100. US. So, it's different over here, but the mentality of what we have, mentality of rappers, we want to show it. We want to have the chains, and we want to show how we're doing things. And yeah, every person in America, for some reason, status symbol is a car. And it's like, why would a liability be a status symbol? I don't understand that. Why would a liability be a status symbol? Does anyone say, well, I got, 5 buildings. I got this many tenants, or I have, you know, this many companies that or whatever. And then we even saying that, we don't even need to say that. We just need to, if you have that type of money, why don't you bring together and then we all build? And the type of building that they trying to build is like, yeah, let's so it's kind of the same things. It's the same things that they want to build. They never trying to build banks. They're never trying to build hospitals. They're never trying to build schools, school system, and then they feel like they can get it all done in America. We cannot get that done in America. The system has been created against us. Against us. Why am I saying that? How many people have created something, beautiful things? How many people, African Americans, have created beautiful things, school system or whatever, bus system, and it gets torn down because of white people's jealousy, or white people's, anger, or whatever it may be, or maybe they send another, jealous African American in there to burn it down, or whatever it may be. I heard about the boxer who bought all of those houses, and then when he bought all those houses in Baltimore, they burned them down. It's like they will pay someone to go against us. And they normally send in another person, like, that's our color. Why? It's easier. It's like this person has been in the hood all the time. I can easily pay them off. They ain't never had $10,000. They ain't never had $20,000. They'll easily go ahead and go against their own brothers for some money. And we'll be on that deceptive mindset because money is at the top of our mindset. And then we feel the people who get the money, they don't even do anything with the money in terms of setting us up right. They think selfish. They're like, look, man, when I was coming up, ain't no one help me, so why I need to help yours? Now, I'm not going to say that there aren't people out there who's trying to do their right, their justice, but the mentality is damaged. The mentality is damaged. And why? How can we fix the mentality? We got to come back to a place of God, knowing who we are. We got to know who we are on a spiritual level. And that spiritual level, we all in different and going in different avenues. We on different streets talking about, well, I'm fighting against him because I'm a Moor and he's an Israelite. He claims to be an Israelite. No, we're Moors over here. Or, oh, I'm an Indian. I'm a Native American. Why would I leave this country? This country is mine. It's like, man, all of that is still separation, divide and conquer. It's like that's not going to get us on the same one accord, man. You got to respect differences. And if this guy wants to say he's a Moor, then allow him to be a Moor. How can we build, Paisan? We are the same skin color. We face the same sort of obstacles coming up. You know, when I wanted a job, they discriminated against me just because of my skin color. They said I would, they would say, you were overqualified. Mientras they take another guy or another person of a different race, of a different skin color, and allow him to go in and be average Joe, and he gets the job, and he didn't even have the credentials. We went through the same things, and so that should connect us on a deeper level. That should connect us like, man, how are we going to get over this? How are we going to become the strongest? How are we going to contribute to something in society? How are we going to make sure that this doesn't continue to happen over and over and over again? You know, all you thinking about is your own money. It's like, man, Paisan, if you look at these Jewish people, because they're not Jews, we're going to let you know they're not Jews, because Jew is a person, an Israelite from the tribe of Judah. That's why they call them Jewish. Get that right. What happened to the other 11 tribes? You don't know. Benjamin, Reuben, all of these other tribes. And let's get it. But that's going to be for another video, because that might be, people might be like, why you got to bring the Bible into this? But look, we got to bring the Bible. We got to bring the Quran into this. Why? Because if we're not going to be on one accord with God, we're not going to be on accord with our soul. But how are we going to be on one accord with each and every one of us? We can't be Judas over here and thinking, double-minded, because if we double-minded, then we're going to be our own enemies and worst enemies in the system that we're trying to build. What are we trying to build? Because a lot of people don't even know what they're trying to build. Trying to build a company, all right, all right, all right. But what else? How am I going to make sure that, that my people have libraries, books, and money? Because we're going to be honest with you, yeah, money is important, but so many of our people are born into poverty that poverty becomes the main topic, and poverty ends up tearing us apart in the families, because one person is always trying to get money because they don't have enough money. And so how are we going to get on one accord? Look, this video is already 25 minutes long. I'm going to be speaking about more provocative topics like this, because my mind, when I'm walking, when I'm going about my day, there's certain thoughts coming in my mind, and I just like, man, I just gotta come and speak about it. I wish I could speak to people about these things, that we can understand it on the same accord, and speak and join with like-minded individuals. So look, like, comment, subscribe. I'm looking to build this channel. I'm gonna bring you more things from Colombia. But no, we here. We here. Look, the African diaspora is here, and it's not just a small little diaspora. It's huge. So look, go ahead, like, comment, and subscribe, and look. Let's connect.